Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of TREC Conversations. This is a Women's Day special episode. At the Real Estate Connect, we believe in providing you utmost transparent real estate consultancy, and as part of that same philosophy, we bring you the show where you get to know movers and shakers of this industry. I feel highly privileged today having this conversation with the executive committee members of CREDAI GIHED Ahmedabad Women's Wing. These women are powerhouse together in the real estate industry. We have with us Ms. Deval Soparkar, Director at Ashiyana Infrastructures. She is heading the Ahmedabad Women's Wing for GIHED CREDAI. Ms. Deval was also awarded as Most Influential Women Entrepreneur by FICCI YFlow in 2018. Ms. Meghna Shah, who's an MBA with Marketing at Nature, is a Director at Synthesis Space Links and has been into real estate industry since over 2 decades. She has so far handled sales, administration and accounting for the organization. Ms. Meghna also loves dancing and music as her hobby. Ms. Tanya Purohit, Director at Purohit Construction Limited, is an MBA in HR, managing administration, marketing and human resources at Purohit Constructions Limited. She also runs multi-designer store in Ahmedabad known as Flair. Ms. Tanya also was awarded as Outstanding Contribution in Field of Entrepreneurship with FICCI YFlow in 2019. Ms. Shaili Patel is Director at Amit Infrastructures, providing innovative turnkey solutions, handling landscape and sample house designing. She also works in family textile business and is an artistic and fine classical dancer. Ms. Prachi Goswami is a Director at Suvidha Projects and manages sample house designing, marketing and communications since 2015. She has done fashion designing in textile from NIFT Gandhinagar. Ms. Prachi functions as media chair with FICCI YFlow and is also in the core committee since the inception. Ms. Prachi runs a niche design agency named Indian Summer Creatives. Alright, thank you so very much to all of you for being present here and giving me this opportunity to interact with you. Today, for the first time, as I told you before, I am myself nervous with this interaction. I've done many of these, as you know. To have such a powerhouse in one room and interact with all 5 of you together. So, without any further ado, I will start with you, Deval. I just have a couple of questions for you to begin with. Deval, this is the first year of Women's Wing in CREDAI GIHED. Why this year? GIHED CREDAI has been there since such a long time. Where all of a sudden you have decided to have this Women's Wing, which is a great initiative, and congratulations for that. Why was it this year?
I think I should give due credit to Shekhar Bhai and Jakshay Bhai, the visionary of our family, CREDAI GIHED, who has envisioned that they need to start a women's wing. And I should give a second credit to current president Tejas Bhai, Anand Bhai and a team who encouraged us and institutionalized the whole thing. કારણ કે કોઈ પણ વિંગની તમે લોંગ ટર્મ સક્સેસ જુઓ ને તો એક ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યુશન અને એક સ્ટ્રક્ચર હોવું જોઈએ. સો દે ટુક ધ ઇનિશિએશન અને આઈ ફીલ લકી દેટ દે ચોઝ મી એઝ અ સિટી કોઓર્ડિનેટર અને GIHED formally launched the women's wing this year. And I further consider myself even luckier because then I was joined by I would say 10 very successful and dynamic women entrepreneurs from their respective fields.
Which is truly amazing. And as when we discussed that Women's Wing is coming up and I saw those pictures coming on screen, on social media and so on, that was very encouraging, not for the women only, but also for the men, because there are certain aspects of this business that women can do probably better than what men can do, and that component that women can bring from women buyers perspective probably also will come with Women's Wing. So congratulations, it's a great initiative. Deval, આ વર્ષ તમારા tenure, what are the 2-3 major goals that you would think that you would like to accomplish during this tenure?
See, first of all, મારે એક વસ્તુ establish કરવી છે કે this wing is not like any other women organization. Not taking away the credit of those, but this is an industry. Real estate is an industry and any women's wing. So all the activities that will happen would center around real estate space. So અમારી જે અત્યાર સુધી જે પણ ઇવેન્ટ થઈ છે, like property show which is coming up next week, where we would like to actively participate. After that, all the events that will happen, as I said, would be related to like say Vastu Shastra related, ke landscaping. We also have launched our CSR foundation. તો CSR ફાઉન્ડેશનમાં પણ ઘણા લોકોને એ સોફ્ટવેર આસ્પેક્ટમાં પણ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ હોય છે. સો એમાં ઇફ વી કેન બી અ પાર્ટ ઓફ ઇટ. એટલે રિયલ એસ્ટેટ જે હંમેશા કહેવાય છે કે ઇટ્સ અ મેલ ડોમિનેટેડ સેક્ટર, બટ વી વોન્ટ ટુ હાઇલાઇટ દેટ દેર આર સોફ્ટવેર આસ્પેક્ટ્સ ઓલ્સો. અને if you want to be part of it, so I would say land acquisition or core construction is a very hard aspect, but there are other fields like marketing, now a new word, digital marketing, finance, legal aspect, especially after inclusion of RERA and new fire policy. These are all still softer aspects and you can contribute in a real term to your organization. So that is an organization goal that we will do all the activities centered around that. As a city coordinator, my personal goal, if someone asked when I decided to join, is कि जो कोई पण family ની એક દીકરી કે daughter in law, if she joins the business અને એવું જો એક successfully I can get them in the space, then I would feel myself very happy.
Oh, that's a very, very noble cause and thought. And I am thinking myself also because so far people never thought, like women of the house never thought that this can go to the next generation, this business, if you have only daughters, or you're probably, if you have daughters and sons, daughters will not be able to be part of this business and they will be doing something else. But with this initiative, it opens up the horizon that, okay, women can also take the leadership roles into real estate industry, whatever part that they're playing, their family is playing in the real estate realm. So that's a great thought and it brings a lot of motivation for all the women, I think. Tanya, I'll come to you now. I hear that you are amazing at liaising with all the agencies and you are the go-to person when it comes to getting some help, when it comes to whatever, when it requires some sort of liaising in real estate world. So kudos to you and congratulations for that. If you can tell us, how did you come to the construction business and since when?
Thank you first of all for all these kind words. So basically, I completed my education. I have done an MBA in HR, and post that I got married. So our company PCL is almost like 3.5 decades into this business now.
Sorry.
And having the bureaucratic family background that I had, which yes helps a lot in the licensing and everything, and also having an education in business. That was getting into the family business was I think the most natural progressive step that I could think of. And obviously my in-laws, my husband, my parents, everybody was very supportive of the fact that I should be a part actively into the family business.
Which is very nice.
Yeah, so I think it was very instant. 4 to 5 months into my marriage and I was a part of the company. I started working actively, handling most of the admin HR work. Again, because of my educational background, I was looking after the entire office administration, human resources. So yeah, I've been into the business since 2008, and post that was also actively involved in the Siddhivinayak Temple Trust that our family runs.
Right.
So that was the second major step that I took into the family business. So
Nice.
it's been quite a long journey now.
Amazing, and that too at such a young age, so that's quite a feat. You just mentioned the education part of your career or your journey. If you can just help our audience know how your degree in MBA, your degree in HR, helped you run the business even more successfully.
Right. So I think there's a quote that says a leader is as good as his staff, as his employees. So I think HR is a very important aspect of every organization. Human resources really lays the foundation for an organization. So an education in I think HR or any field really helps you develop skill sets. And MBA being it's a degree that's really focused on business. It really helps you study different aspects of business, different aspects of an organization. So I was lucky enough to get a chance to implement my knowledge, theoretical knowledge into business. And yes, definitely it helped a lot setting up new systems, new policies, structuring the entire things in a different way. So yeah, that I feel was really good, helpful.
Brilliant, because a lot of time you see that there's an education degree that is required and people have taken it, but it's never been implemented into the business. So you're doing something that it is not related. So this is one great example where your education is
Yes.
coming in handy with the work you're doing. So kudos to you for that. Meghna, you have been into this business since last 20 years, right? So that's kudos to you. That's 2 decades of work in real estate industry, and you've been completely at the back end mostly, right? So when we talk about synthesis, you are not in the forefront, but you're doing such important roles, and you come 20 years back into this business, initially with Bakeri those days, and now synthesis. So tell me how young you were and how was your journey so far with the real estate career?
First of all, thank you so much, Anand. Actually, I started working immediately after my college graduation. So yeah, I was very young at that time.
Wow.
But I was fortunate enough કે હું એક બહુ જ એક સ્થાપિત અને પ્રતિષ્ઠિત બેનર નીચે મારી કરિયર શરૂ કરી શકી, that is બકેરી.
Correct.
અને પછી જ્યારે મેં સિન્થેસિસ જોઈન કર્યું તો એક જુદા પ્રકારની જવાબદારીઓ એમાં ઉમેરાઈ, પણ એક શીખવાનો જે ક્રમ હતો એ આજે પણ ચાલુ છે, ઇવન ટુડે. સો આજે આ સ્ટેજ ઉપર મને એક વસ્તુ બહુ જ સમજાઈ કે મેં મારું એકેડેમિક એડ્યુકેશન પૂરું કર્યું અને તરત જ મેં ઓફિસ શરૂ કરી દીધી હતી. સો જે એક બેઝિક કોઠાસૂઝ કહીએ એ મને ખૂબ જ મળી, કે જે મને લાગે છે કે જો હું ફર્ધર એજ્યુકેશન લેતી તો એના કરતાં ઘણી વહેલી મને મળી. પણ માઇન્ડમાં એક હતું કે થોડુંક એકેડેમિક સારું હોવું પણ જોઈએ. So after that, I did my MBA, and after few years,
2016 you completed your
yeah,
MBA.
I did my MBA in 2016,
which is amazing.
So yeah, my children were also very young.
Right.
એ લોકો મને examination હોય તો they used to come to drop me to the examination center. So it
Other
was,
way around.
Yeah, other way around. So it was a real great experience in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it actually shows that education does make a
Does
difference.
make a difference.
It helps.
અને મને એનાથી એ પણ સમજાયું કે જ્યારે એકેડેમિક અને પ્રેક્ટિકલ નોલેજ એ જ્યારે તમે બંને સાથે હોય છે, then it is really very helpful at your
Absolutely. You get that science also, like you using your artistic mind while you doing the business, but then the science also comes in with the education. So you get
Yeah, and જો મારી આ 20 yearsની જર્નીને મારે ખાલી એક વર્ડ કે એક સેન્ટેન્સમાં મારે એને કહેવી હોય તો હું ખાલી એટલું જ કહીશ કે લર્નિંગ, because every day is a new learning.
Correct.
So
after 20 years
after
also you're
20
saying
years,
that.
yeah.
So that's amazing. You also mentioned जब તમે સાથે વાત કરતો હતો કે તમે આરંગીકરણ કરેલું છે કુચીપુડી dancing.
Yes.
And what you feel is કે that discipline જે તમે ત્યાં આગળ જે that is required in dancing, એ discipline તમારા બિઝનેસમાં પણ તમે ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ કરો છો, and that makes so much of difference. If you can just elaborate and explain it what you exactly mean, how your passion for dancing replicates into work for our audience.
Yeah. So એના માટે આનંદભાઈ હું એમ કહીશ કે my mother is a doctor. So એ ભણવા માટે તમારે શિસ્ત બહુ જ ડિસિપ્લિન બહુ જ જરૂરી હોય છે. એમણે મને એક ડાન્સ ક્લાસમાં મૂકી જ્યાં આગળથી મેં મારું કુચીપુડીમાં આરંગેત્રમ કર્યું. સો ઇવન ઇન ડાન્સમાં પણ તમારે બહુ જ ડિસિપ્લિનની જરૂર હોય છે. એની કાઇન્ડ ઓફ આર્ટ ફોર્મ તમે જ્યારે એમાં ઇન્વોલ્વ થાવ છો તો એની જે સાધનાની જે જર્ની હોય છે ને એમાં 2 things આર વેરી મચ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ, કે એક તો તમે જેને તપસ્યા કહો છો, તપસ્યા વગર સિદ્ધિ નથી મળતી અને પરિશ્રમ વગર પરિણામ નથી મળતું.
Wow.
So I have that mentality again કે આ તો કરવું જ પડે. So
This is
that
amazing.
is one point.
Amazing. I will try to go through this recording again, and I will
Yeah.
try to add that into my vocabulary, and I will try to probably inculcate that in my daughters also. So
Yeah.
very nice.
કારણ કે એમાં હું માનું છું કે ભલે બિઝનેસ તમને છે ને વારસામાં મળ્યો હોય, પણ એક ડિસિપ્લિન અને હાર્ડવર્કથી જ તમે એમાં આગળ વધી શકો છો.
Right.
અધરવાઇઝ it is difficult to survive.
Correct. Correct. Very nice. Prachiban, I have a question for you. You are known for your classy and minimalistic design when it comes to whatever you're doing with Suvidha projects in terms of designing and in terms of a lot of your corporate gifting and so on. I can tell this as a first-hand experience because I see a lot of your social media promotions and creatives, and also I have received a beautiful personalized hamper from Dushit Bhai last Diwali, and that was very, very nice and classy. So if you can just tell us and our audience what exactly you do, how your educational background is helping you with the whole thing and so on.
So Anand, firstly, thank you so much for having me here with such power-packed girls
100%.
around. And it's really empowering to be a part of this session. So basically, I've been born and brought up in Ahmedabad. I've studied in Mount Carmel and pursuing my graduation in NIFT Gandhinagar into fashion and textiles. So I am basically an art enthusiast. I've spent a significant part of my life understanding art and design. And so be it doing 5 years of course in Kanoli Art Center during my schooling when I was in school, or be it skipping my prelims over giving entrance exams for NID and NIFT during that time.
Wow, that focused you were for
Yes,
designing.
for designing, and I would give that credit to my mom, my mother, because she has really motivated and pushed me, that and giving and telling me that to prioritize your future. And once, if you can miss your prelims and give the entrance for your future, it was fine. With her support, I could be here right now into the designing field. And post my graduation, I was a part of Urban Mills into knitwear departments. Later, I joined Rajka Designs, which is being owned by Kartikeya Sarabhai and Rajshri Sarabhai. So, gaining a lot of knowledge into this field, I launched my brand called Indian Summer, which was into soft furnishings. So, the concept of the brand was to sell my products online into e-commerce platform like online portals, but lack of the understanding into IT technology, digital marketing and logistics, I had to give up that business for a while. In 2020, I again gained confidence to start something of my own, and the lockdown really helped me in practicing my skills and arts and everything. So I had again started my practices on the designing softwares, and that is how I launched my brand called Indian Summer Creators, which is into personalized stationery and corporates and graphics and creativity and creatives making creatives. So that is my major role in Suvidha projects also, to be into the designing area of the business.
Nice. So you have had amazing designing background. You've had different studios, whether it's garment designing, fashion designing, or whatever exactly the technical, whatever you mentioned. You said that you joined Suvidha projects only before pandemic, so it's 2 years back. So if you can just elaborate on what exact roles you play right now with the organization.
Yeah. So you know how finicky Dushyant is when it comes to creativity and designs. So be it as basic as making brochure designing or parking allotment letters or documentation handovers. So I have been a part of this since a couple of years with him, doing these things under him and being assisting him into designing areas for this.
Nice. And I did remember, I received that hamper last Diwali, and I called him to ask him where did he get it done. And he did mention that it's my in-house agency only because it's my wife who's doing it. So I was really impressed.
So even I'm really fortunate to do something like this and give to my company,
Right.
which people are really appreciating, and it's really motivating me and empowering me to do this more and more and getting involved into this.
Right.
Yeah.
Shelly, Ben, coming to you, you have set a great example managing kids at home and involved in traditional business alongside while you're managing 3 kids at home, and you've been into process house so far with your family business, and now you're coming up with real estate projects also. So if you can just tell how you've been able to juggle all this together so far.
Are you trying to scare me by telling 3 kids?
No, I'm sure you know that every single day about it more than I would, because the first call I made to you, there was I could hear kids behind, and that tells me that you're working and you're doing this, which actually hats off, because it's not easy. I know what you guys do at home is something that men will never be able to do. What we do at office, women can do. It's very apparent.
So basically, even before when I got married, I've always been working. So maybe when in those days when I was in college, not much girls were into working also.
Correct.
So at that time, I remember I was in my second year of my college, and I was in HR.
Right.
And there was NIIT, which was very famous at that point of time for all the computer stuff. So I decided I wanted to work basically. So I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I really want to work. So if you can't think it's a So that was the mentality at that point.
Correct.
I said, I don't care anymore, I want to work. So I just walked into the NIT CEO's office. I was like, I walked into it. I said, I want to work with you guys. So it's like, okay, you're joining from tomorrow. So I was like, fine. So, I have always been very enthusiastic. I always wanted to work. And then I joined Audi Ahmedabad over here in India.
Okay.
In Ahmedabad, right from their inception, whenever they started for me. In fact, I was their first recruit. And then later on got married with Dhruv. And also my father-in-law, he was the one who, after my 7 months of my wedding, at that point of time, we were a little low on real estate and we were more focused on our textile business. So we were actually backward integrating the whole textile thing. So he took me first to the process house that we were running in Nepal before. And that's how I started going with him. Absolutely not knowing anything about it, But then of course, he made sure, everything that he used to be behind me for everything. And then I started joining office, everything. So, and also my mom has always been a working mother when I grew up as a child.
So you've seen that in your family?
I have seen that in my family. So at that time she was doing ceramics and arts, which probably not much people were doing it. And we were 3 kids, and at those times we never had help like we all have now. And having maids and all that thing. So she always made sure that she was always around my time whenever I was needed, Or whenever she was not there, because she was very active also. She was doing a lot of exhibitions, a lot of seminars and everything. So she always used to make sure whenever she was not there, we were always busy, healthily, we were always busy, innovative. I also did my Anagetram from Malika Sarabhai as
Very nice.
I was growing up. So our brought up was also very creative as well. My mother was also an artist. So that's how then I joined into designing with Diamond Textiles Mill. That's how we are known in textile.
Right.
Right. So, and my father-in-law is also very visionary. He always thinks that we should always have 2 parallel working businesses. So that's what he has, and he's also carried forward to my husband's role. And though we have been little slow on real estate all
Right.
these years, we are trying to get into that whole thing later. But right now, that's what I learned from my mom, that you show up, whatever your circumstances is, things will fall into place. So that's what I do. And my father-in-law also taught the same thing to us, that you show up no matter what. Whatever your circumstances are, you try to show up, it will always fall in place. Yeah, there are times that you really don't want to, you really get into that place, because my kids are very smart.
Right.
I have a twin, they are 6 months old. I have a
Just
daughter.
6 months old.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I have a daughter who is almost 5 years old. So just today in the morning, I was about to come here. She was like, "Mama, please don't." I was like, I couldn't stop myself, So then I made sure she's temperamentally fine, and I made sure that she's busy in her own good way, so that I'm at peace when I'm here, not knowing that what must she be up to. So that is very important,
Right.
is what I'm, And when you are not around, I would always want to make sure that my kids are not missing out on me, and they are busy, healthily and innovative.
Right.
So then they are also having that good, healthy mentality with them, and not feeling that all the time, that our parents are not there around, or maybe my mom's not there around. Because due to this lockdown period, most of the kids have been home all the time. So there's too much of, they are used to too much of parents being around, So of course it's a transition phase right now. Maybe they also have to learn, while going to school and everything.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I do, just show up.
Very inspirational. Very, very inspirational. That culture has been set into you from the childhood, from your
Yeah.
family. So that's really helping. Is very visible. Relatively, Ami Corporation in the real estate world is not as familiar a name. But I understand that's a huge legacy that your organization carries. If you can just shed some light, organization in history, અત્યાર સુધીની ક્યાંથી ચાલુ થયું, what exactly it is, and what's coming up.
Right. So we are established since 1960. So
That old.
That old.
Wow.
Yes. So I think not much people have also been known about it. Maybe the good old generation must be knowing about it. So my father-in-law, when the government then asked the riverfront project, whichever government was then, he had a vision. Just that why don't we build a high-rise over here, which of course riverfront is developing now. But then he had a vision then. If the riverfront project is passed, and if we have a high-rise here on the riverfront, it's going to be as good as a Nariman Point thing, because at that point of time, Nariman Point was like a big thing.
Correct.
For Nariman Drive Point was a big
Correct.
thing, like overlooking the sea, and there are high rises.
People used to show off going and visiting Nariman Point. Ahmedabad mein people say, "Main Nariman Point jayenge aaya." Those were the days, right?
So that was the first high-rise building that my father-in-law did in Ahmedabad. There were no high-rise buildings before, and just when the riverfront got passed, we built that. And also we've done more than 4 million square feet of development. Also the twin bungalow concept was also given into the market by my father-in-law.
Wow.
Yeah, so he himself is very visionary, That's how we got into the whole thing. And then, of course, as I said earlier before, we were into a little bit of backward integration for our textile business. So we are now reviving the whole real estate. We are now coming up with a recent scheme at Kodak Dev.
Nice.
Yeah. Which is a good 4-bedroom apartment over there. Yeah. So we
Super. Deval, I want to ask you this. Real estate, you have been into the forefront of real estate all your career so far. અને આપણે જ્યારે real estate ની વાત કરીએ ત્યારે basically it is the people what they think is it's related to construction, labor contracts, sales, land acquisition, but there is so many other roles these women are playing in real estate industry that we never think from outside that women can contribute here as well. And more often than not, sometimes maybe better than what men can do. What are your thoughts?
Typically, હું એવું કહેતી નથી કે better than man can do કે એવું because
Just show it with your work probably.
or rather I believe when you have a talent, gender doesn't matter.
Right. Correct.
કારણ કે talent ને કોઈ gender નથી હોતી. So I am a firm believer of that thing.
Very well said.
પણ real estate ને typically from an outside point of view બહુ જ હાર્ડ માનવામાં આવે છે કે land acquisition is tough, construction is tough, there are issues with laborers, પછી delivery is tough, legal compliances બધા લોકો નથી સમજી શકતા. પણ મને એવું લાગે છે કે over the time there is a sea change in the entire industry. Largely because laws are getting firmer. અને આમ જોવા જઈએ તો હવે with advent of RERA, real estate ને industry નું status બી મળ્યું છે.
Correct.
એટલે that is a big thing. કારણ કે when you get an industry status, ઘણી બધી વસ્તુ easy થઈ જાય. Which I am a firm believer કે જે પહેલાની struggle હતી એ કદાચ મેં જોઈ નથી. Land acquisition has become relatively easier. Laborers now a contract આપી દે છે એટલે અને contractors are also very professional.
Correct.
Like big houses, they own backward integration, or even the big contractors are very professional. They stick to deadlines. There's a bar chart. It is not haphazard. I think earthquake થયા પછી જે ક્વોલિટી ઓફ કન્સ્ટ્રક્શન જે રિયલ ટર્મ્સમાં લોકો સમજ્યા એ પણ અમદાવાદ હવે જોઈ રહ્યું છે કે ક્વોલિટી કન્સ્ટ્રક્શન. બીજું મને એવું લાગે છે as far as અમદાવાદ is concerned, લોકો પોતાના પૈસાથી પ્રોજેક્ટ કરે છે. So timely delivery is always ensured.
Correct.
Which is also a major change compared to other sectors. If I
Even
say.
in other, the same industry, other cities, જેટલું personal capital Ahmedabad developers are putting in with all the partners coming together and so on, it's very rarely seen outside Gujarat, to be honest. And that actually pushes the market to a lot of disasters like મંદી આવે તો માર્કેટ ક્રેશ થઈ જાય એવું બધું અમદાવાદમાં નથી થતું એટલા માટે કારણ કે ડેવલપર્સ because of the personal funding they have a lot of capacity of holding it in the rough times, which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing. અને બીજું પ્રોજેક્ટ કમ્પ્લીટ બી થાય છે ટાઈમ
Right.
સર.
Correct.
એટલે that is a big thing for on a customer's perspective.
Correct.
પણ હું એમ માનું છું કે આખું ફોરફ્રન્ટ ને રિયલ એસ્ટેટને ફ્રેગમેન્ટ જો કરીએ આખા ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીને તો ઘણા બધા એસ્પેક્ટમાં as I said earlier also women can be involved. I think we have a lot of female good architects, good
Correct.
interior designers, good designers for other things, as Prachi mentioned, कि brochure designing છે. Even you can be as creative as giving allotment letter, possession letters, એ બધામાં પણ. So there are a lot of things that you can do on a creative front on the real estate side. અને હું personally માનું છું કે ઓફિસ કમર્શિયલ સ્પેસ એ બધામાં કદાચ ઇન્વોલ્વમેન્ટ ઓછું રહે પણ હોમ બાઇંગમાં તો વિમેનનું ઇન્વોલ્વમેન્ટ પણ બહુ છે. આજે when you are
Correct.
doing a residential project,
Correct.
it is always women who will come. Even after financial aspects are settled by the male member of the family, women will come, she will check everything from vastu to ventilation to design to where my kids will sleep, where my in-laws will sleep, where will I party. She will come with her 2-3 friends. I think home buying by women involvement, I would say 70-80%.
Right.
Men નું કદાચ financial aspects સુધી જ એ રહે છે. She will go and she will go into the detail of design, parking, kitchen નું platform થી માંડીને A to Z. I
Correct.
mean, એટલે it is next level involvement that you can
And
see.
that detailing can only come from women
From
by
women.
and large.
એટલે જો women ખરેખર માર્કેટિંગ જોતી હોય ને રેસિડેન્શિયલ પ્રોજેક્ટમાં તો એ ડેફિનેટલી સક્સેસફુલ થાય જ.
Correct.
એટલે that I want to give it a very strong message across કે જો તમે એ વસ્તુ જો કોઈ women ને આપી દો ને એ માર્કેટિંગ અને સમજાવવાનો એ પ્રોજેક્ટ women ને એ પ્રોજેક્ટ સક્સેસફુલ જ જાય.
And this is probably the reason that in our side of the industry also we see કે જે women brokers હોય છે એ a lot of times you will get surprised at what kind of performance they can deliver. You know,
Yes.
Darshini has dealt from my office
Yes.
with you, and what kind of success women into this real consulting business also can bring.
I think દરેક ફેમિલીની ડિસ્ટિંક્ટ લાઇફસ્ટાઇલ હોય છે જે એઝ અ વુમન માર્કેટર કદાચ એ વધારે સમજી શકે છે અને એટલે જ કારણે જો કોઈ વુમેન રેસિડેન્શિયલ પ્રોજેક્ટનું જો માર્કેટિંગ કરે તો આઈ પર્સનલી ફીલ ઇટ ઇઝ 80% સક્સેસ બીકોઝ you can understand the lifestyle, you can suggest changes અને ડિઝાઇન મોડ્યુલરિટી સમજાવી હોય કે બધું કરવું હોય તો હું પર્સનલી માનું છું કે women can understand lifestyle better અને can also show how it is or how it could be implemented in the project.
Very nice. Prachi, I just wanted to ask you one thing, that you are also involved in Vicky Wiflow or Wiflow Vicky since such a long time, since the inception. You've been part of the core committee. If you can just shed some light on that.
So, Vicky Flow is a women wing. It's an all India women forum, and the headquarters is in Delhi, covering 17 chapters pan India. The main objective of this organization is to facilitate and push women to showcase their talents, skills, experiences, their energies, to meet like-minded people around, and to just empower women across the country and the globe. So that is the main objective of this organization. I have been part of this organization since its inception, since 5 years, 5 to 6 years, and also been a part of this organization since the organization has launched in Ahmedabad.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Super. Tanya, when you've been managing actively Temple Trust of Siddhivinayak at Ahmedabad, which happens to be the largest Ganesh temple in India, is it right?
Right.
That's a very divine and noble cause. If you just want to tell how actively you get involved in it and what are the activities you do with the Temple Trust and so on.
Right. So, Anand Siddhivinayak temple in Ahmedabad, it is, as you rightly mentioned, it is the largest Ganesha temple in India. And we got the jot for the temple from the Siddhivinayak temple in Bombay. So, technically speaking, it is one of the baby avatars of Siddhivinayak temple, Mumbai.
Right?
And this was a dream that was seen by my husband's dadi. My husband's dadi had a dream to build a temple and where people can come in, worship. And also, we as a family wanted to give back to the society in our own possible way. So, the trust, we do a lot of charitable and CSR activities in the temple premises. Just to name a few, like we've provided jobs to a lot of handicapped people who were really not able to make ends meet. So, many families have been given livelihood. We do medical camps in the temple every third Sunday of every month. More than 1,500-2,000 people get free treatment, checkups, medicines, food during those camps. Especially during the COVID times, we have the trust has adopted more than 500 young girls, majorly who lost their parents, their families to COVID, and
Wow.
we have completely the trust has adopted those girls right from their education to their basic living, and the trust also makes sure that we help them earn a livelihood in the future. So we also try and provide skills to such girls, so that in the future they don't depend on anybody and they are able to live a life. So yeah, we do a lot of CSR activities there, and we've been as a family involved in that. It's our own way of just giving a little back to the society.
Wow, how noble! Because temples doing at this level, the CSR, what you mentioned for the social cause, is also very important. If temples, all the temples do that, then I think it will be a lot better place that we all live in. But thank you very much for saying that and doing that more than anything else. I do get the prasad yearly from this temple. Samir Bhai does send it to me. I love that prasad. I eat up most of it and very little goes to the home. It's just so lovely and it's a very well packaged too. I did not know that it's such a huge thing. I just thought it's from some temple. I did not know that it. I would really love to visit the temple soon.
Definitely.
So Shaili, when you just mentioned that you are coming up with a new project in Bodakdev after a long time. If you can just tell us कि અત્યારે કયા stage પર છે project અને what are you guys thinking of about that particular place અને how are you going to get involved in that endeavor?
Right. So like I earlier mentioned to you, Kamala, we were a little slow on the business, but Dhruv was really very active because this construction has always been his personal. So irrespective of the 10 years on Hathani, he has been very active in GIHED all these years, trying to keep himself updated, not leaving this side. So he came up with this whole idea. Okay, we are building up a residential 4 BHK compact residential. So we are serving 3150 square feet and 3650 square feet apartments, where 3150 thoda small compact है, and 3650 we are giving it with servant room, parking, and of course other amenities which are always there. And 80 units है in London, 2 blocks each. So આજે અમે લોકો we are still in the pipeline and હજી પ્રોપર્ટી બોર્ડ્સ ને એવું બધું નહીં હોય, but should be doing it very soon. So થોડી legal formalities છે.
Right. Right. Very nice. Okay, so Meghna, I'm going to ask you one question. That you have you have 2 kids. They are all in teenage right now. અને અત્યારે એ સેલ્ફ ડિપેન્ડન્ટ હશે પણ તમે 20 વર્ષથી આ બિઝનેસ કરો છો. તો what was the journey so far? When you started this business, they were not even existing, and then they were born. And તમે અત્યારે they are teenage. Sometimes they were small also. And successfully you've done this for 20 years. If you can tell us, how did you manage to juggle around between the time?
Yeah. So Anand, as we discussed dance before, કે એમાં એક ડિસિપ્લિનની ખૂબ જ જરૂર હોય છે. એવી જ રીતે ડાન્સ, એની ડાન્સ ફોર્મ નીડ્સ અ પરફેક્ટ બેલેન્સ.
Right.
સો હું એવું માનું છું કે તમારે સમય કાઢવો પડતો હોય છે અને તમે ઈચ્છો તો એ સમય તમે નીકાળી પણ શકતા હો છો. જો તમે લાઈફને ડિસિપ્લિનથી એક ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટલાઇઝ કરો છો તો તમે whatever work you are doing, you are giving 100% in all aspects of your work. કન્સિસ્ટન્સી, હાર્ડવર્ક અને સિન્સિયરિટી, આ ત્રણેયના સમન્વય વગર તમે લાઈફમાં કોઈ પણ કામ પ્રોપરલી નથી કરી શકતા. સો ઇટ ઇઝ વેરી ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ. અને જે બેલેન્સનું મેં કહ્યું એના માટે હું એવું કહીશ કે જો મને એવું લાગ્યું હોત કે હું મારા બાળકોને ન્યાય નથી આપી શકી રહી ઇન ધેર બ્રિંગિંગ અપ, તો મેં 100% મારી કરિયરનો ભોગ આપ્યો હોત પણ એનાથી ઊંધું ના કર્યું હોત મેં.
Right.
I think so that it is not only about mothers, but even fathers have to keep balance in their life. કારણ કે જો એના વગર કોઈ પણ કામ આપણે કરીએ છીએ, so at the end of the work everything becomes useless, meaningless. Sorry.
But kudos to you, managed it so well, and whatever you're doing, you said just right now, it's very, very visible in your work as well. So very nice. Ladies, now I think we are coming to the end of this session, but not before we end with the rapid fire round. So I have a set of questions that I'm going to shoot out at you, and as you would have seen in some popular shows, it has to be rapid, right? So I'm going to be asking you a question. Please do not take a lot of time because I'm going to ask the same question to everyone. So now what will happen is I ask the first question to Tanya Ben. Prachi Ben will get a lot of time. So the next question I'm going to ask Shaili Ben. So then that sequence goes. So it's fair to everyone, right? So Tanya Ben, will start with you as I just said. If you can tell us one person who inspired you to come into the real estate industry.
I think it will have to be my father-in-law, who's obviously who started the business, and he's
And he
always
encouraged you
been,
to come to the
he's
business.
been very motivating all the time.
Very nice, super. Shaili Ben, the same question.
I think it would be my husband.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
very nice. Deval,
Can I say a mythological character?
100%.
I
One
think-
well that could have been person for sure.
A goddess Lakshmi.
It's not a spoiler, it's a rapid fire, but I want you to elaborate on that.
I think there's serious money. I think it's good.
Okay, very nice.
Very
Surely motivating.
Very honest.
Yeah, very honest.
Meghna.
Actually, I have growing up seeing my father in this business, but even I wanted to join it.
Very nice. So
Yeah.
you were decided that you wanted to come
Yeah.
to this business, and
Yeah.
Upendra sir did absolutely encourage you to come to the business. Very
Yes,
nice.
yes.
Archie,
My father-in-law, definitely, and with him, my mother-in-law also, because I see both of them involved in this business. Even if she's at home, she is supporting him, so that is what inspired
so your
me.
mother-in-law also indirectly is contributing towards the business.
Of course.
Oh, very
Of
nice.
course.
Oh, that's amazing. Inspiring. Okay, so the next question to you, Shaili Ben. What career would you have loved to pursue if not in real estate?
I would say I would have been a veterinary doctor.
Wow, that's random. Nice, because you love dogs.
I love dogs.
Correct.
It's my dream to build a hospital for them.
Nice.
Which Ahmedabad is really lacking.
Right.
So,
Deval, then where would you have found your Lakshmi?
I think real estate is my second career. So, મારી પહેલી career family business માં હતી અને I now don't think so that I'm changing the career. I'm very, very happy in this.
You're right.
This is my second love, but I think it's forever.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I would say maybe a lawyer. That's what my own family member says.
Very interesting. We'll take this off camera someday. So why they have their opinion, but it's very interesting.
A fashion stylist.
Fashion stylist, you've been doing that anyways, so
Yeah.
you're amazing at it. Okay, so Deval, when the next question starts with you. One message for women who aspire to contribute in real estate industry.
Come, it's not that bad.
Yeah. Meghna, right?
Okay, I would say not a message, but I do believe that this industry is meant for women too.
100%, and I truly believe that as well, and we do encourage our women at our office also to come into the brokerage side. Okay.
The same thing. Don't feel overpowered by men to come in this industry.
Right. Super.
Yeah, I think I also feel that this industry has a lot of things women can do. So just take the plunge and don't get, as she mentioned, scared or by a lot of men.
Correct, and which actually a lot of women from outside are, because whenever people come to my office, they also say that, okay, how will this work and so on and so forth, that we can see sense of fear, which actually is not required. Shaili.
coincidentally, I also share the same thought. And it's not only a men's world.
Correct, and so visible right now, like looking at you. I honestly am feeling so nice that, okay, there's so many women contributing in so many multiple ways in this industry. Okay, Meghna, the question starts with you this time. One message for men in the real estate industry.
Women are the soft power of this industry.
Wow, very nice. Okay, so Prachi, the same question.
Don't feel underpowered by women to be a part of this industry.
Very nice message for men.
Yes.
I'd say complimenting what we are doing today, I'll say, good morning, men. We're all here.
Amazing! Wow.
Give women as much liberty as much you all have in this industry.
Nice.
When we launched the women's wing, I just put a picture of the GIHED CREDAI house and posted a message to everyone saying we have arrived.
Nice. Brilliant.
Just one tagline and I said we have arrived.
It's so encouraging right now. Tanya,
So I think I'm already doing what I would have loved to do, something related to fashion industry. So I'm doing it through my store, Flair.
great. Super. Okay, so now we're gonna start with Prashib and you. One word for your husband in father's role.
I think the question, it will take time for me to answer this question because we are yet to have a child. So
Acha, okay, fair enough.
it's too far.
Right.
You're Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno, but
Dushan is a good father to
caring,
Bruno.
I think.
Caring, nice. Great.
Very loving, very caring, and completely spoiling the kids, making sure that I am the Hitler of the house.
Wow, that's how it should be.
Completely loving and balanced. And whenever I lose my cool, he's like, that's all he has to do. And then he interrupts.
So much easier, isn't it?
I know.
I guess it's balancing to my very, very volatile personality. So it's good, but I've cornered my kids. So daughter is also mine, son is also mine.
How mean.
Yeah, it's dual standard.
I'm no one to say much on that because that's how it's at my home as well in my favor. Meghna.
I would give just one straight answer. A great role model. That's it.
Great, super. Okay, so Tanya, again starts with you. One thing you love to do when not at home and not at office.
Just unwind, watch Netflix, and relax.
Nice.
I would spend my time in nurseries, gardening. That's what I would like to do.
You find your peace there. Very nice. Deval,
Not
not making money. What else do you do?
I spend money, I go to nail salons.
Nice, well, fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I would love to do. If every day, I don't mind.
Right. Meghna?
Very similar to her answer. I'll just be myself.
Okay, but when you are yourself, what do you do exactly?
Actually, I love to spend my time with children. So the options what you have given, not at home or not in the office.
Right.
So I think
So you're either or only.
either or,
Right.
yeah. Because my life moves around these two only.
Right, and you're doing a great job at that
Yeah.
anyways.
I think if it is not home and work, it would be a spa day. Spa.
Oh, nice, very nice. Something
Like a
similar
nice
to yours.
massage,
Yeah,
pampering yourself and
correct.
just getting
It's
relaxed.
very relaxing, absolutely.
I would like to also add, there is no me time with our 3 kids.
I can understand that, and especially when there's two of them, 6 months. Yes. Okay. All right. So this next question starts with you, Shaliben. Okay, your favorite cuisine?
My favorite cuisine is chaats.
Pakka Indian.
I would say Thai.
Nice.
Basically, I'm a very foodie person, so everything vegetarian.
Everything that's vegetarian, just like you. Just like you.
Chaats and Punjabi khana.
Nice. North Indian food and chaat is very, very good. I love chaat myself as well. Yeah. Now I'm slurping.
I think, yeah, I am a foodie myself, so I love good food. Indian, Chinese, everything that's nicely made.
Nice. Okay. All right. Deval, what would you prefer, TV night or chilling with friends?
Chilling with friends followed by TV night.
Oh, so there's no night, like it's all night then, there's this right into the morning.
I never like options in life, so I think I want to grab every option that is possible.
Awesome. You know?
I would say chilling with friends who do not believe in TV news.
Oh, wow, very deep, huh? Nice.
I would say TV nights because of the fast life now when the
Correct.
food is settled
Correct.
and the life is moving so fast. There's everything every day. There's something or the other. Then I would like rather go home, have a nice TV night,
And unwind.
unwind.
Nice.
I think I like both in a balanced way. Depends on how the day has been. If
Right.
it's very busy, I would like to relax. If it's been a little lighter day, I would like to chill out with friends.
Right. Okay.
So I would say none of them. I would just like to spend time with my family, however the situation is.
Right. Okay. Meghna, if you had to give up one thing, would that be bags or shoes?
Very tricky question.
I know I targeted that only.
On a lighter note, I would say definitely bags because I love people treating me. Give treats too. So if
Okay,
I'm
so
not
they get the
getting
chance
bags-
to get you nice
Yeah,
bags.
yeah.
Yeah, and where no measurement is required for shoes, like shoes. Alright.
I think none.
You cannot give up any of
Any
that.
of them.
Okay, fair enough. I can get an honest answer from a woman.
I agree. I love both my bags and my shoes. I cannot give them up.
But
I
if
love
you
my
had to,
fashion
let's say
too.
if you had to.
No, I cannot.
You cannot.
I cannot even choose. I need both.
Wow, that's bad. Oh, I like that question. Then I did a good homework at that.
I would drop shoes anytime.
For the bags, love of
Of
bags.
course.
Nice. Deval,
I think I'll drop shoes. Anyway, whenever you work at site, it's only 3 months life with any shoes. So I'll drop
Correct.
shoes.
And absolutely, you need your bag to put all the Lakshmi. Right. So one last question on rapid fire. We start with you, Prachiban. One woman that has really inspired you.
So currently, since last 5-6 years, I have been seeing one woman who's consistent in her work, which is Deval.
Wow.
Oh, how nice this.
All the cameras
I feel for me as a person, my mother has been very instrumental in shaping me who I am today. So yes, my mother is definitely one woman I look up to.
Very nice. Jay?
So I would say for me it is my Guru Mandalini Sahib. I have learned a lot from her.
Right. Yes. She has done a lot of work and she is inspirational to me. Deval?
Since childhood, I believe it's always Indira Gandhi. Because she also broke that ice ceiling that politics is for men.
Correct. The Iron Lady for sure.
Yes, she's an iron lady, so I think it's always been Indira Gandhi for me.
Very nice. Meghna?
Anand, on Women's Day, I would like to say that definitely she's my mother because wherever I am today, there is a great contribution of my mother in my overall growth.
So nice, so nice. And thank you so much, ladies, for giving out your time. It was phenomenal to interact with all of you together. It could have not been better than this on Women's Day. Thank you so much. And we wrap up with this with a small gift that we have for you. Just like you wanted. Guess what?
Nice package.
Prachiban, thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you so much. Meghna Ben, for
Thank you
being
so
part.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The first one. Thank you very much so much, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for being with us through this episode of Women's Day Special. Wishing you all a very happy Women's Day. Do subscribe on our YouTube channel and please follow us on our Facebook and Instagram. The handles are The Real Estate Connect, TREC. Thank you.